Hello everyone, my name is Maryam Saesol and I am 9 years old. Although I'm still young, I do wonder at times about the country I was born, Malaysia. Often, many of us take granted about the modernity we live in and the freedom we enjoy. Has it always been like this? Hey, how do I know? I was just born like 9 years ago. But as a child of Malaysia, I think we all need to look at the past in order to appreciate the present and look forward to the future. And what better ways to appreciate the life we have here today? By looking back at the history of our forefathers and, for this instance, our foremothers. That is why I've decided to do my history project on a prominent female figure that not many of you may know. She was not your normal conventional women politician or female warrior. Who I'm referring to is Allah Yarham, Shamsiah Fakeh. Shamsiah Fakeh is and was a controversial women leader. She was part of the history as a person who fought for our independence from the British. Although she passed away in 2008, which is 2 years before I was born, I became very interested to learn about her after coming across her name while reading my dad's history book. Shamsiah Fakeh was born in 1924 in a small village near Kuala Pilang, Negeri Sembilan. She came from a religious family. She was one of the early Malay women who became very active in politics. Back in those days, especially before the World War, Malay women are not well educated. Most of them are only taught at home. The things they are taught to do are like most household things, like sewing, childcare, cooking. They get married at a very young age. And yes, the lives of Malay women back then, and similar to Shamsiah Fakeh, society expected her to do the same, but she was not an average Malay woman back then. She was very interested in politics, especially during the Japanese occupation. She was a very fierce public speaker. It was during that time for a young girl to be speaking like that. She won the admiration of many Malay people. She was very anti-Japanese and anti-British. She wanted her land to be free from occupation. Many political parties wanted her to join them, but she ended up joining Parti Kebangsaan Melayu Malaya, or PKMM. She led PKMM Women's Wing called Angkatan Wanita Sedara Awas. After the British banned PKMM, she was very disappointed and joined the Communist Party of Malaya, or CPM. She was a nationalist or a communist. Can she be both? That is what I am going to find out. Communism was an ideology founded and popularized by Karl Marx in the 19th century. It gained popularity around the world and sees everyone as equal, no rich or no poor. During the colonial times in Malaya, people were mostly poor. The only rich ones were the British capitalists that sought to steal Malaya's wealth and bring them back to Britain. This made it a fertile ground for communism to grow. And that made many people influenced, especially Shamsiah Fakeh. Shamsiah Fakeh was a woman with strong conviction. She believed in her struggle to be right and true. Her aim was to free her people from the British. She wanted the wealth of Malaya to be shared equally amongst its people. Her involvement in politics started when she gave an unplanned speech in a PKMM political gathering. Her speech was published by Utusan Melayu. It was very inspiring, and from there, she gained the attention of many Malay political leaders. Immediately, she was made the leader of Awas. She herself said in an interview that she had never wanted to be a politician. It was all fated. To Shamsiah Fakeh, Awas and PKMM fit her character. UMNO wanted to gain Merdeka through dialogue with the British, but she believed in PKMM slogan, Merdeka dengan Darah, which means Merdeka can only be achieved through armed struggle, just like Indonesia. She joined CPM right after British banned PKMM. In 1956, she got married to her fifth husband, Allahyarham Ibrahim Muhammad, and they both moved to China. From China, she worked in the Malay station of Beijing Radio. Her job was to promote communism to all Malay-speaking people in Malaya, Indonesia, and Brunei. She, her husband, and 3 kids lived in China until 1994. In 1989, through the Hatnyai Agreement, the CPM agreed with the government of Malaysia to give up their weapons and surrender. Shamsiah Fakeh appealed to the Malaysian government to return to Malaysia. After so many times appealing, the government allowed her to return. She lived her life peacefully until she passed away in 2008. One of her granddaughters is now a politician. Al-Fatiha to Allahyarham Shamsiah Fakeh. Oh hi, guess what? I just found out that Shamsiah Fakeh has a granddaughter. She is now the State Assemblywoman of Bandar Utama. Her name is YB Jamaliyah. I am now going to write a letter to her. Maybe she can meet me and I can interview her. Hi guys, I'm so excited. I just found YB Jamaliyah's office. It's right over there. This is the letter I wrote to her, and now I'm going to put it in the post box. Good morning.
Hello, morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Are you YB Jamaliyah?
Hello, very nice to meet you.
I'm Maryam and I'm 9 years old.
Wow.
I wrote to you last week, and I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to let me interview you today.
Yeah, definitely. Come, have a seat.
Good morning, friends. Today, I'm so fortunate today to be given the opportunity to interview the granddaughter of Allahyarham Shamsiah Fakeh. She's none other than YB Jamaliyah. She's now the State Assemblywoman for Bandar Utama.
Alright, let's start.
Today, I'm going to ask a few questions about you and your grandmother. Is that okay with you?
Okay.
The first question is, what made you so passionate about wanting to join politics?
Well, because I think that each of us Malaysians, we're supposed to be more interested in politics. And since young, I'm actually kind of interested with our politics and interested with our government because they are going to affect our lives in future. Yeah, so I became a volunteer for my political party. And then when I realized that, they need more young people like us, so I decided to join in.
Oh, I see. Interesting. Who or what inspired you to be a politician?
Well, at first when I joined in as a volunteer, I never thought I would be a politician. I just want to volunteer. But my former boss, YB In, well, she's very inspiring because she's a very young lady and she's full of leadership and she's very hardworking and very smart. So I was working under her after that as her counselor, also as her special assistant. And then I realized that, she's very, very inspiring and she really knows how to guide us, and I want to be just like her to contribute to our country.
Wow. You must be very proud to have a grandmother like Allahyarham Shamsiah Fakeh. Can you tell me a bit about her?
So I will tell you about her from my perspective as her granddaughter because I think that we heard a lot about her through internet and other people or perhaps her father. So personally, of course, she's very inspiring for me too. The reason why is because that I think, when I was 16 years old, I never thought of the idea of I need to save my country and I need to step up, and fight for this country. And she did. when she was very, very young, she realized that, I need to do something for the country. So by that time, when she think that that is something that is very necessary for her to do, and she just step out of it, regardless of the risk, regardless of she's just a female, she's so young, but she's willing to do it for the country. So it inspired me. And during that time, it's a very difficult situation for anyone to make, especially for a young lady. But she made that decision. So I'm kind of proud of her.
Wow. When you were young, did your grandmother feel like a good role model for you and other girls like me?
Yes, definitely, because she teach me how to be independent. She teach me, although we are young girls, but we can have our own mindset, and she teach me to be brave. I think that is a very good things to learn for your lifelong journey.
Yes. My final question is, what is your advice to young Malaysians like me, and how can we contribute to this country?
Alright, so for little girls like you, firstly, definitely you need to learn a lot of things. So in future, you can contribute more to our country. Try to understand more about current politics, although sometimes it can be very dry. But if you really got this dream to change our country, and develop our nation, it's very important for you to understand the current situation of our country, to understand, how's our relation within each races, how's our relation with other countries, and how can we develop this country better. And I guess it does not matter whatever you are interested in future, might it be to be a scientist, to be a doctor, to be an engineer, lawyer, or you can go into art stream, like if you want to be an artist, want to be an actress, a celebrity, a singer, it's up to you. But just make sure you're doing your very best, not only for your future but also for Malaysia's future.
Yes. Thank you so much again for spending your precious time with me today.
It's very nice to meet you too.
Yes, I wish you all the best.
Me too.
Okay, that's all, friends. Bye. On 31st of August 1957, Tunku Abdul Rahman, our first Prime Minister, proclaims independence. He said Merdeka 7 times. Merdeka! 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 Hello, friends! Today I'm in the city of Kuala Lumpur. Isn't it hot here? Look! Look at that scenery! Such a modern and beautiful country with skyscrapers, lush green parks, and world-class transportation system. But do you think Malaysia has always been like this? Has those tall buildings ever been there since last time? The answer is a simple no. This is all made possible by the hard work, blood, sweat, and sacrifices of our heroes who fought against the British. I am now standing in front of our famous Tugu Negara. Tugu Negara is a sculpture that commemorates those who died in Malaysia's struggle for freedom, principally against the Japanese occupation during World War II and the Malayan emergency which lasted from 1948 until 1960. It is located in the federal capital Kuala Lumpur. The Malaysian Houses of Parliament is situated under this place. It is the world's tallest bronze freestanding sculpture grouping. Every year on 31st July, on Warriors Day, the young Di-Pertuan Agong, the Prime Minister and the heads of the Malaysian Armed Forces and the Royal Malaysia Police pay their respects to the fallen heroes by laying garlands at the monument. So that's it, folks. Thank you for watching it. Bye!